Sure. Kathy, excuse me, will you contact Joe, or do you want me to contact Joe?
I can call him. If
Okay.
you want to call him tomorrow, you can.
Let me know either way.
Okay. I'll call him in the morning.
All right, thank you.
First of all, correction, it's not Carol's fault. Our next meeting of the Historical Society is June 10th at 7 o'clock. It's not our regular time. It's June 10th at 7 o'clock, Wednesday. Next thing is, this is old business. The K-5 race with the young girl just wanted to do a memorial kind of thing. I think it was the name, something like that, last month. Where is that? Is that in its final stages, approved?
It is in the final stages. I believe the chairman sent an email out about her having to get a letter from South Point, and we did send that back out to her, and she's going to get that approval for you guys. So it's on her right now to get that letter, and I think she has approached South Point
Okay.
to do that. But I did meet with her, and I think I sent out the email to all of you.
Yes, and I got that.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Public Works building. We've approached the subject very gently, but we have a problem there, and we're buying new equipment and probably going to need more, and are we going to leave it up to Russ, or are we going to take the bull by the horns and try to get a building built at a suitable location? Tom, I'll throw that to you.
Still looking for property. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, Sorensik. Sorensio, what, I don't know his name is, Joe.
Joe,
I think you got Joe's
I approached him, he wasn't interested. He approached Mr. Fuchs on the property by Gilmore, in Flats Black.
So Joe has the property beyond
Yes.
offer?
Yeah. Mr. Fuchs said he'll look at, try to come up with a number to see what would work for both of us. It's a perfect spot.
Okay, well, what about the, there's no water? Or, I'm sorry, there's no public sewage? Does that matter? Bill, does that matter?
Be a holding tank. We'd have to have a holding tank.
What?
We would have to have a holding tank.
I said, you guys would have to hold it.
What about the Grange property?
That's what I was gonna say, has anybody looked at the Grange property?
It's
right
not
across
big
the-
enough.
that's not,
That's fine.
They need 5 acres right now,
It's
and
not big enough.
for the development, the future development, they need 7, 8 acres. I think. Am I right?
Get advertised for property. I don't know, I looked at all the, I looked from the GS map, I looked at all the property I could think of.
Well, let's advertise. Contact realtors. What?
5 acres, I mean, just, or,
A minimum, I don't think 5 acres is enough. I think there ought to be 7 or 8 acres for future development, or we're going to be in the same situation that we are right now there.
you had mentioned the ABP property, remember, or CCAST.
Oh, I forgot all about that, yeah.
So I can reach out and contact them.
Yeah. In which case, it ought to be 10 acres.
All right.
What else?
We talked last year in the fall about merit races, and it was agreed by everybody that we would do a quarterly assessment of employees. Well, the first quarter came about and nobody's done anything. Second quarter is upon us. Can you speak up so we can hear
That
you?
wasn't defined.
Was it on, it was my understanding that it was going to be a quarterly assessment done by their manager to be reviewed by
By whose manager?
whoever the employee is.
No, I thought it was going to be done by the supervisors.
That's why we haven't had one. I'm not sure what the policy is. We didn't establish one. We didn't get an opportunity to establish
I
one.
thought it was going to be the supervisors were going to do it. That's what you understood too.
It was a suggestion that wasn't understood.
Nobody objected to it. I think we need to get on with this. So very soon, we're going to come to the end of another year and nothing's being done.
I can't disagree. You want to leave that, Elizabeth?
Pardon me?
Want to start the process?
That's something that we all have to do, and we have to do it together.
Yes. I don't think anybody disagrees with you. It's just finding the time to do it.
Speak up.
But it also boils down to the
She
fact that if you...
said she doesn't think anybody disagrees, it's just finding the time to do it. So
You're going
let's,
to have to set up a set of regulations or whatever, or questions you're going to ask, that you're going to judge everybody by the same criteria too. You can't be judging one person one way and another employee another way. So my whole point is that, and I don't have a problem with doing employee evaluation, but we have to come up with some criteria that we're doing so that you judge everybody equally.
if the jobs are not the same, they can't be, it can't be equal.
There are certain categories though that could apply to all jobs.
Okay, well, if you think that, how about you're drafting some of them, what you think?
Sure.
And can you take a look at anything that you might have, Chris, on employee evaluations, but with that, not spending too much money on it?
Would the supervisor be included in evaluation?
Who said
That's
that?
called an election.
Who said that?
Doesn't the supervisor have to be part of that evaluation? Because he's working with the employees on a day-to-day basis, him or her?
Well, I think, I'm not understanding what you're saying, first of all. Explain it to me what you mean.
Okay, if I have 3 people that I supervise, I should be the one, or jointly, that should be evaluating that person or persons because I'm working with them every day.
Which is why I thought the township manager, and incorrectly apparently, the township manager would do it. We don't work with every employee
Right.
every day. So it wouldn't necessarily be a fair evaluation for me to evaluate a certain employee if I haven't worked with them in a month, or I haven't worked with them in a few weeks, or I'm not working with them on a day-to-day basis. To me, from a business perspective, it makes more sense for whoever that person's direct employee or direct manager to evaluate that employee and then to pass that evaluation on to on to us to review. And if we have questions at that point, then we can take it that one step further. My personal opinion would be the only employees that we really could directly evaluate would be the township manager and really maybe even the director of finance. But I don't always work with all the employees, so for me to spend 15 minutes in an evaluation may not be the best.
I suggest we can assign it to
So here's what we'll do. I'll come up with something and I'll circulate it to everyone. We can present it to the public at our next meeting, in which we can come up with some sort of hierarchy of evaluation so that each level is being evaluated, and then if at any point anybody has any questions.
What did you say, Tom?
So we can direct the manager, so I'll settle the program and start it.
Will that work?
I don't care who comes up with it, but I'd like Chris to review it too for us.
I thought that we had already talked about it and how it was going to be done.
Clearly, we didn't talk about it well enough.
Pardon me?
I said, clearly, we didn't talk about it well enough, because my understanding of evaluations is something you're explaining to me.
And we're not here during the day, our manager is, he's equipped to talk, to set up the evaluations of all the people in the field that does that, Cindy suggested.
Can I ask one more question? Does the manager or managers, whoever, I'm not familiar with exactly how the
It's one
organization
manager.
looks like, but do the employees have goals and objectives set for the year that you can measure? I mean, there's other items too, but you gotta have something to measure against.
I've never been permitted to have that knowledge.
Also, wouldn't you have to start with the job description to see if that
That's
person
what
is
we've mentioned.
working to that
Job
description?
We have job descriptions or something.
Well, that would be a start, and then like you
Then
said,
you need goals and
the
objectives.
goals and things that
Did
they
you make them or not?
produce over the year. Check to see if it's been,
You're absolutely right, the job description gives you what you expect your employee to do, and then you can go ahead and see if they've reached that goal, or if they go above it, like you're
The
saying.
job description isn't a goal, is an objective. The job description is what you're supposed to do, overall. Then you have to set goals and objectives for the individual that they can be measured on throughout the year. I mean, that's my opinion.
Your goals and objectives are generally set at the beginning of the year.
Right.
And then you measure your
That's right.
employee quarterly to determine if
That's right.
those goals or objectives are met. If there's areas that need improvement,
Right.
you're exactly right.
But we can't keep waiting for next year. I mean, at this point, right, we can't. So at this point, Dawn, and I mean, you guys, you will need to have, well, make sure all your employees have goals and objectives set, and there's some sort of evaluation, preliminary evaluation done prior to our next board meeting.
And I would like to see,
I think we all,
well, okay. I will.
See ya.
You
take it easy.
The motion is directed.
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
We move, is there a second to that directive?
I'll say.
We moved and seconded, those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. You heard it, Beth.